have Nico De Cock from the blues band Bluesbones, all the way from Belgium. Nico is the lead singer in the band. Hi, Nico.
Hey, hello, how are you?
I'm all right, thank you very much.
Yeah,
Uh, Nice to hear your album, a live album. I think I've not heard a live album for a long time. I'm more of a sort of a studio album kind of guy, but there's a lot of great, really great live albums out there, and I was really blown away by the set. It made me feel like I was just there listening to you guys. It was really recorded well live.
yeah,
Um,
thank you, yeah. Well, we
Witch Doctor,
sorry.
sorry, Witch Doctor, the last track I was just playing. It really drew me in. I love the funky, groovy guitar sound, and being a guitarist myself, I love the sort of the fuzz octave guitar solo that is it Steph?
Steph, yeah,
Steph,
yeah.
yeah. Steph was playing on guitar. Great guitarist. Uh, where was the live album recorded?
It last year in November of 2019. It's recorded in the neighborhood here, but we worked together with a Belgium festival, Swing Westpelaar. It's a big blues festival in Belgium, and they helped us to organize the evening because yeah, we are musicians and so we are good in playing music, but we're not good in organizing. Like you need people at the bar, you need people at the entrance, and so they did all the things for us, so we could concentrate only on playing music and record it in a good way. So. And it was a strange feeling because I know just before the show we were talking about, hey, do you heard about the virus in China and what do you think about it? And yes, look what what a mess we're in now. So it was like really crazy. And yeah, normally we would promote the album, we would do a tour and play in Europe, but yeah, everything is canceled. So and we thought, no, we need to release this album this year because yeah, people will get the feeling like how it was and how it will be in the future again. But I think it gives some magic to the album, especially in this period of our lives, I think.
Yeah. Um, so you recorded it at the end, right at the end of 2019.
Yeah, it was end of November 2019. So it was
Wow.
the
Yeah.
the coronavirus was in. We heard messages about China. There was a virus going around, and it could be dangerous. But yeah, who knew what would happen? Like,
Yeah. Right.
a few
And
months later, we're in this mess like this.
how are things in Belgium with restrictions and things like that?
Yeah, not good. Nothing is happening. We are in sort of lockdown. 2 weeks ago, the unnecessary stores could open again, but like bars and hairdressers and are all closed. Only the shops where you can buy food and where you can buy clothes. But for the rest, everything is forbidden. You can only invite one person in your house. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
but it's I think it's everywhere. It's the same mess. Huh?
Yeah. It's pretty much the same over here in England. Uh, I'm guessing rehearsals are out the window for the band and things like that.
I I haven't seen all my band members in. I think the last time we were together was in June, just before the second wave hit us. So we did a rehearsal, and since then we couldn't rehearse anymore because it's not that's not. You could if you're outside you can gather with four people. But yeah, now it's not the weather to rehearse outside, and we're
No,
with
you don't want
five
to be.
people in the band. So yeah.
You can rehearse in a field in the rain, and that's about
Yeah,
it.
yeah. This could be fun with a Hammond. Oh,
Oh yeah, aye, yeah. Well, let's talk about the people in the band, uh, because as I was listening to the band, I could hear the musicianship in the band. I was really taken aback. I've heard that you were the winner in the Belgian Blues Challenge in 2016. I'm not surprised.
yeah.
and
Thank you.
winner sort of the European Blues Challenge. I think did
We
you
ended
come
up
second
second. Yeah,
in
behind Cass
2016?
Hawkins.
Well, Cass Hawkins, fantastic vocalist.
Yeah. Well, Steph, our guitar player, is also now the guitar player of Cass in her
Ah,
band Man. So there is some link. We always get linked to each other. I know in 2016 we were pick of the month in EBBA, and Cass was also EBBA pick of the month. So she was number one, and we ended up second. Then in 2017 we go to the European Blues Challenge. She ends up number one. We end up second. So
yeah, I bet it was really close though. I bet it was a close deal.
Yeah. The most fun I had was after the show because Mike Vernon was in the jury, and after the show he came talk to us, and yeah, you know, Mike Vernon worked with Eric Clapton, with Peter Green, and he was telling me like, oh, I really enjoyed your show. Something is happening. It was good music. Something happened on stage. It was magical. And we're like, oh, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Yeah, thank you, sir. I was a bit like, okay, yeah, you know, a little bit starstruck at the moment.
Yeah, well, everyone in the band is sort of pulling the weight, you know, musicianship wise. I don't think there's a weak member in your band. And as I was listening to the CD, which is I think it's just called Live on Stage, isn't it?
Yeah.
Live on Stage, Bluesbones, Live on Stage.
Yeah.
As I was listening to the CD, everybody got a chance to shine. There was sections for, you know, the bass guitar, like the start of the end. That's really sort of bass heavy. This sort of strange wah kind of effect on the bass. We drew attention to the bass. But you know, there's guitar solos, Hammond solos. I heard a drum solo in there at some point.
I find my way out at the end, just like it's like we want to how can I explain? It's like everyone in his own is very good, but I think the five together makes even more magic, you know, like we understand each other, and we always get compliments like we're a very dynamic band. We can go in waves, you know, we can take it down at any point. If our guitar player looks at our drummer or looks, and we know we like, okay, we are going that way, and so everybody follows it. And it's like we record in the studio also. We released 6 albums, 3 of them live and 3 of them in the studio, but we just are a live band. So for me and for a lot of our band members, it's like going in the studio is like, you have to do it, but if we wouldn't have to do it and we can only play live and we could only release live albums, it would be the best thing for us, because we were just want to play live, and I think.
Is that how you record in the studio? Do you record like, I don't know, AC/DC style, where you play live in the studio and try and capture that, or do you sort of layer it up and think of it more of a construction, that kind of thing?
No, well, I have to say the first album we did was an accident. It was
Okay.
really, it was. I started the band in 2011, and in 2012 I said we have to record something because we need something to present to people from bars, and you know, like some sort of CD so they can hear you. And we were rehearsing in a place where there was a guy who had a PA system, and he had a table, and he said, you can record here. So we recorded 7 songs to choose 5 of them to have a demo. And our producer is a good friend of mine. He mixed everything together, and he was like, well, it's good and it sounds good, and you have 7 songs. I said, if you record just 3 more, you have an album. And I said, maybe we can try to record an extra 3 songs. So we put out the album, and I know in the beginning we just burned it on CDs ourselves and we sold them, and I couldn't keep up with burning the CDs because we sold so many at our gigs, and I was like, okay, what is happening? So from the beginning people enjoyed it, and it always grew, and it was like a crazy feeling at that point. So
I can imagine. Just going back to sort of your early life as a singer, I think I read on your website you started in 2000, 7 or something like that. Was it
I
7?
started very late in bands. You know, I always sang at home and with my mother. My mother was singing in a church choir here at my town. So as a young boy, every time it was rehearsal, I had to come with her because my father was working, and you know, I was singing, ha, 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 you know. So and I always enjoyed music, but I never did anything with it. Only with my our producer of our CDs is my best friend. So from 16 years old, I was messing with him with making music, and I always sang songs for him, and you know, like so that was the only experience I got. And at one point, I think I was turning 30, and he said, "You need to find a band." And I said, "Yeah, yeah, but I'm nervous because I know when I went to karaoke bars, I always had to be drunk before I got on stage, you know." And
One of
at one
those things.
point, one point he said to me like, "Hey, I found a band for you." I said like, huh? Yeah, you're gonna sing in the band. And it was my first band was Bottle of Blues, and and so he pushed me into go singing in this band, and from that point on, I was addicted to it. You know, I know the first gigs I was very nervous, and I really was drunk before I started singing, and at one point I made some I made some click in my head like maybe I have to be good because people seem to enjoy it. So why do I have to be so nervous all the time? And I made this click, and suddenly it was like I felt free on stage, and I was like, okay, this is something I love to do.
That's fantastic. Yeah, it's
So
nice
I was
finding your
pushed a
place.
little bit into a band, and yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm sure not kicking and screaming though. I think.
No, 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 no. But I know it was a very heavy band. But I you know, before I loved hard rock because I was a hard rock fan. You know, not really the heavy metal stuff, but the hard rock like AC/DC, Iron Maiden, yeah, just to name a few, Kiss, Bon Jovi, some all the kinds of rock music. And then
Mm.
suddenly I heard Johnny Winter,
Oh yeah.
uh, and Johnny Winter draw me into the blues music.
Mm.
I know I really it was the second Winter from Johnny Winter, and the song that did it for me was Highway 61 Revisited. It
Oh
was
yeah.
a cover of Bob Dylan's song, and I was like, this is nice. Is this blues? And I started learning more about blues music, and so
I think that's the thing with the blues music. It becomes addictive. I think the more you the more you seek out different bands,
Mhm.
the more that you get drawn in. You know, I think that's the
Yep.
thing. First time I heard Johnny Winter, uh, I didn't know which I liked more, his singing or his guitar playing. The slide guitar playing, you know,
Mhm.
fantastic, fantastic stuff. But it just leads you on all the time to new things. It's like right, who influenced him then, and then go into
Yeah,
go into a little
but
adventure like that.
every rock band is influenced by the blues. If you go to the basics of it, everybody is influenced by the blues. And
Yeah,
the Rolling Stones were a blues cover band. So yeah, and
yeah, aye.
look what happened. I
That's it.
always say like
Blues
one of the
boom.
best, one of the biggest blues bands now around is AC/DC. It's just blues with a rock feeling into it.
Yeah, I've not heard the latest album though. They've just recently brought an album
Yeah,
out.
I
I've
heard
not heard
about
that
it.
yet.
I don't think I think it's a band that maybe the best is what is past. You know, I didn't think they need to release another album because they are bigger than life, so it could only get worse at this point.
Well, who knows? Might be the best thing we've ever heard.
Yeah,
Who knows?
yeah, I doubt it. I doubt it because Malcolm is not with us anymore, so I think he was the driving force behind this DC. So
We'll have to give it a listen. Um, Talking about sort of influences, you know, your heavy rock kind of things. Who was sort of an early influence for you singing wise?
singing wise, mm, I oh, it's a hard question. In the blues or globally, LA?
Just any, yeah, just what kind of made you want to sing in the first place? You know, for me, I'm a guitar player, uh, and you know, people that made me want to pick up a guitar was just listening to like Jimmy Page. You know,
I,
early on, I thought I want to do that. So that's kind of what I'm
mm,
thinking. What
I,
made you
I,
want to get up in front of a band
mm,
and shout your head off?
I, I, I don't know. I always liked music, and when I was a very young boy, I always looked at all the, you know, the hit parade on the BBC. I think Top of the Pops.
Oh yeah.
And in Holland, yeah. In Holland, we had a Veronica with the countdown and stuff. I always looked at those shows, and I always was singing with the songs, and I always was singing along. But I don't know what drawn me into singing. Like who especially, but I like, you know, I'm a big fan of Billy Joel. I bought like 15 CDs of him, Billy
Mm.
Joel. So and yeah, I don't know. It's not especially a singer that draw me into to singing. It just became natural for me to sing along with songs and
Yeah.
yeah,
So also, or just basically all kinds of influence from all different areas.
yeah. I'm. It's not only blues. I like Pink Floyd. I like one of the best singers around, and it's. I think it's the best singer. Is God? Is Chris Stapleton? Country singer is like.
Oh,
If I listen to him, I'm like, bro, he gives me goosebumps. You know, it's like he's not only a country singer. He's got everything. He's a blues singer. He's got the you there is some aggressivity in his voice, like from a rock singer, from metal singing even. So I'm like,
wow.
he's so versatile, and I wish I could sing like him. He's like, phew.
I thought you were just about to say Chris Cornell then, rather than Chris Stapleton.
No, Chris Cornell, so also a very good, he was a very good singer. So yeah, but for me, it's like Chris Stapleton is one of my favorite. And from the UK, in like years ago, I always liked Ian Siegel.
Oh yeah,
He's got a voice like an old blues man, and it's like, yeah, I always liked this. I always liked this voice. So
guitar playing his guitar playing is exemplary as well. It's fantastic guitar playing. It's
mm,
it's one of these musicians that they've got it all really. Can play
yeah,
and sing.
you know,
We hate those kind of musicians.
Ian Siegel is blues. If you look at Ian Siegel, it's blues. You know, it's like, yeah, I really enjoy everything what he has come out with song, and yeah.
Fantastic. He's a brilliant singer, songwriter, guitarist. I hate him.
But you got a lot of good bands in the UK, especially in blues. I also like Catfish a lot. Catfish blues band
Oh
with
yeah.
Long and
Uh,
Matthew. Yeah, it's when I first heard their first CD, I was like, damn, this is a good band. And it's like you can hear some influence of Pink Floyd inside of the music, and I'm a big Pink Floyd fan, so I told Paul Long also. I said like I can hear some Pink Floyd inside of it, and I really like it.
well, just in your music, I was just thinking the what could I hear? Um, in one of the songs, I think it was "Romance for Rent."
Hmm.
I could hear a little bit of the Tubes in there because I quite like the Tubes.
The Tubes?
Yeah, an American band. I think.
I don't know them.
Well, it's got like that Romance for Rent. It's got like a pop sensibilities and
Hmm.
harmonies, and just to me, it just sort of it just reminded me of the Tubes. And what was the other one? Cruising. We talked about ZZ Top and
Hmm.
sort of rock stuff, and that had kind of a ZZ Top kind of feel to it.
Hmm.
And I
Yeah,
really
well,
enjoyed that one.
that's what we try to do as a band. Is I always say we're not just a blues band. We have blues in our name because yeah, we're the Bluesbones, but I think we go from rock to blues. We try to be versatile, and we try to. A lot of people tell us like, even when I'm not a blues fan, I came to see your show and I enjoyed it because we played like for a lot of people, we play some songs that they can relate to. Like, you know, it's not only like Chicago blues, it's like all kinds of music and but it's also what we like to do because yeah, it's not like we just want to do this. It's like what comes out of the band.
I think nowadays, you know, bands that play the blues are really playing modern blues. It's like the modern take on the blues. So you can take all those influences from all these great musicians,
Hmm.
uh, absorb it, and then come out with your own kind of music. And it doesn't have to sound like Chicago blues or anything like that to be blues. It's just
No, no, no.
I can tell that you know the influences, especially the guitarist. Being a guitarist myself, I could tell Steph Paggy had you know a bit of a blues training when he was younger. He was coming out with some fantastic blues licks, and I heard Hendrix and all sorts of things in his playing. Um,
Yeah,
so,
he's a self-taught guitar player, so he never had
oh,
any. So he only went when I learned to know, okay, yeah. Sometimes I have to in my head I'm translating everything in my English, but he was
he speak better than me.
yeah, he was six. His father was a big blues fan, and his father took him to a blues festival when he was 11 years old. And he was a child who never did anything good, you know, like football, no, not good. And then he saw blues, and his father bought him a guitar, and he was this saw like this is the thing he wants to do. And his father was a big fan of blues, and you know, like yeah, Stevie Ray Vaughan. So his influence, he looked at a lot of videos by Stevie Ray Vaughan, and I know I watched a video of him in 2011. He was 16 years old and he was playing Little Wing by Jimi Hendrix in his room, and he videoed it and put it on YouTube. And I was like, "Pooh, damn! If you're 16 years old and you can play like this." When I start a new band, but I was in another band at that time, and I always said like, when I start a new band, I'm going to reach out to him and maybe wants to work with me, but he knew me already because I played in some other local, like locally. He knew me in the blues scene in Belgium. He knew who I was, so I contacted him. Was like, yeah, it's the best present because yeah, he was just 16 and we were all like 30 or 35 years old, and yeah, it was yeah, and he was just a talent. You could see he was so talented.
Definitely, I can agree with that. But I think everyone in the band is super talented. A great CD to listen to. Where can people buy the CD or download the CD?
Digital, you can buy it everywhere. Yeah, all the known channels like Amazon, iTunes. They can order it on our website. We have a web shop where you can order it. We will send it everywhere, even if it's the North Pole. We will send it there.
What's the website? Let me read out
www.thebluesbones.com.
bluesbones.com.
Bluesbones.com.
Okay, Nico, well, thank you for speaking with us.
It was my pleasure to speak.
Uh, Great album, great live album. Can't wait till we're back to gigging again, and
We
hopefully you'll be over in England when it all sort of dies down, and I'll be the first in the queue for tickets.
we never played in the UK, so we need to come to the UK at one point. Like,
Yes,
damn,
please do.
yeah, really, I need some festivals in England. Like, hey, come on, man, book us. We want to play there. We got lots of fans out there. So, and
Well, get the word out.
normally last year I was coming to visit to go to the Colin Blues Festival in Colin, the big British blues festival, because I know a guy. I work with a band in England, a Crossfire blues band with Marcus Priceguard. It's like, pooh, he's also a great guitarist, and I'm like, I'm helping him to come to Europe and play some gigs here. And they invited me to come to the Great British Blues Festival. But yeah, Corona spoiled everything for me.
Yeah.
So
Well, fingers crossed we're all back to it
yeah, let's
next year.
hope so.
Uh, but next on the show, I'm going to be playing Sealed Souls,
Mm.
uh, which is one of my favourites off of the album. Uh, because of its it's such a powerful song, a really powerful song, really dynamic, and I thought sort of almost world ending. It's I don't know, it's got a lot of I don't know,
It's
a lot of power to it.
yeah, it's a song. It's a song. It's. I think it's almost. I wrote it with another band, with the previous band, the lyrics and some sort of stuff with and we never recorded it. And I was like, it's a powerful song. And I know I was talking with Steph, our guitar player, and I said, listen to this song. We just recorded like very in demo, demo, and it was not the same like it is now. But I said we need to do something with it, and Steph was listening to it and said, yeah, and he learned the riff, like how the melody goes and all the stuff he needs to play. And I know I wrote this song years ago because I saw some sort of image. I think it was in, I don't know, Syria or Saudi Arabia, I don't know where, but there was, war, and I saw a baby crying in the streets, and I was like, what the craziness of war and what harm it does to a lot of people who don't who don't need to be in this war, that they are just suffering, and that's why I wrote the song. And I think because of the message of the lyrics, it has to be powerful at the end, because why do they do this to people? And I was very pleased with I the only thing in my head I hear at the end, it should be with a big orchestra, like with shallows and stuff. In my head, it sounds like this, but yeah, it's it costs too much money to rent an orchestra to play a song.
Yeah, you need a bigger band van for that.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
All
But in
right,
my
well,
head, it was like, it was, I needed some at the end. It needed like, everything needs to explode and like, whoa. But yeah,
yeah.
maybe it's good like it is, because I'm thinking maybe overproduced.
Well, thanks for speaking to us, Nico. I really enjoyed this conversation. The new album, live, on stage, by the Bluesbones.
Yeah,
It's available now.
yeah.
Go out and buy it.
Thank you so much.
Cheers, Nico.
Yeah, thank you so much.